Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. This is the place to be for high quality free trading education. So without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. In this video, I will be speaking about USDCHF. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I will be covering the technical aspect of this market. Then we will be moving to the order flow by looking at the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing. And by the end of the video, by using a combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is currently approaching a quite strong level of monthly demand and support. In fact, from here, all this previous rejection to the upside was created. Again, here the market tested its zone and rejected it to the upside. And we can see how the market is currently approaching this exact same level, from which there is the possibility to see the market to go and test the level and then to reject it to the upside. We can also follow the patterns that the market has been creating, and we can notice a clear impulse and the start of a correction. And what we know is that after an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, we have to take our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse leg. And if we do that, we can see how we have the 0.3 to 50% and 0.618 Fibonacci retracements all lining up exactly inside of this zone that we could in fact expect this market to want to go and test and then to reject to the upside. Precisely because we could see some institutional longing inside of this zone, which is something that we will be speaking about later on during the analysis. Dropping down on the weekly time frame, what do we see? Now here on the weekly, what we can notice is that from a pattern standpoint, the situation is very clear. We have a nice impulse. Now we're getting a correction from which more bullish continuation could be expected. We can also notice, if we look at the structure, that we have just approached a level of previous weekly resistance. In fact, from here, all this previous move to the downside was created. This level was then broke to the upside, and that previous resistance was turned support here. So at the moment, we have a market which is testing previous weekly resistance turned support, from which there is the possibility to see a potential reversal to the upside. Dropping down on the daily time frame, what do we see? Well, from a daily standpoint, first of all, I did speak about USDCHF after the market had created this M pattern. From here, I made a full breakdown explaining other reasons for which we could expect this rejection higher and completion of the M pattern at the neckline, which is the previous support turned resistance, which is in fact exactly what the market just did. And by the way, I will link in description that previous analysis so you can go and check it out for more free education. Now, what we can see is that after the market created the move that we wanted to see and completed the pattern, we had a rejection to the downside, and at the moment the market is approaching this previous low. Why do I say previous low? Because exactly from here this move higher started, and at the moment the market is approaching this area. So this is previous support, which is now still acting as support, and this is also this previous resistance which was turned support here, respected, and now again the market is testing it. So this means that especially if the market could go and dip below the support, that would increase the probabilities that after a manipulation like this, we could see institutional longing pushing the price higher, because this is an area inside of which we could see more longs added from an institutional perspective. In fact, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing, which are essentially hedge funds, so the big players in the market, and we check the data precisely for the CHF, what we can see is that with the last reports, net positions have been decreased. We went from minus 3.8k net positions down to minus 16k net positions, showing how institutions have been moving to the bearish side of the CHF. Now, we have to keep in mind that all currencies on the spot are traded against the USD. So if you see institutions shorting the CHF, they're actually shorting CHF USD, which means that they are longing USDCHF. So that is why I say that this is a good area, instead of which we could see more institutional longing of USDCHF, because that is already what has been happening. Institutions are currently longing USDCHF by what we can see here on the commitment of traders. Therefore, especially if the market will go and hunt the stop losses that are below this low, that could trigger quite a lot of stop losses. And what we know is that for every seller in the market, there needs to be a buyer. And institutions have so much money that very often they have to manipulate the market in order to trigger stop losses and then use those stop losses, which are essentially sell orders, to actually buy. So especially if we will see a break below this low, triggering all the stop losses, this could be a quite good accumulation area from which at that point we could see a potential rejection higher. So how we could be approaching this potential move higher? Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the COT data, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market, as we would have, to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential move higher for the market to reject that weekly support that we have identified at the beginning of the video. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and these kind of things, you want to learn more, I really suggest that you go and check out the transparentfxtrading.com website. Here, you have the possibility to gain access to my entire courses with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns with the Telegram signals, the COT data software, which is precisely the one that we used in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you scroll lower here past the testimonials, you will see that at the moment there is a massive special promotion in which you have a huge discount on the upfront price of the program from $497 all the way down to only $97, one-time payment. And as you will see, there is still time to join before the offer expires and price goes back to normal. However, time is starting to run out, so I really suggest that you go and check it out as soon as possible. And directly from here, there's the button to join in order to gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. So definitely looking forward to have you on board. The link is also in the description, and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. Also, if you have any suggestions on any topics or pairs that you would like me to cover in the next videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video.